Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So excited for the Zoom just because my team has been dying to have you on. And so we're going to kick this off because, we're respectful of everybody's time and I want to make sure that we get the most out of this little bit. So I know you and I kind of game planning and chatting about things before. I was just going to have you kind of jump into parts of your story and that's going to lead us into some other questions and all that good stuff. So I will turn it over to you for a minute.
Yes! Hey, everybody, what is up? Poor Erin. I'm like, it's bedtime in your house. Turn that mother trucking volume down, y'all, okay? I am so, first of all, honored. How do you guys know? I know it says Kelsey Thornton, but Erin Tweed, we love you. We love Kelsey too. How many of you guys know you've got like a freaking bomb of a leader? Like, literally, drop like a one in the chat. If you guys understand, like, you have a powerhouse. I don't need to be here. I'm just loud. Okay, like that. I'm just loud. Okay. Erin, are you guys normally 30 minutes or an hour? Because I don't know how to say my name in 5 minutes. So
So we normally have been doing like 30 to 45.
okay, I'll talk a little fast
Yeah,
then.
you're good.
Okay.
Hey, we will take it as long
So
as we need to. We want to be respectful of your time because I know it's late.
girl, I'll be here
But
till
I'm
midnight.
excited.
Okay, I'll be here till midnight. Hello. Okay. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Ashleigh Mayfield, and I'm an ambassador diamond in the company. You guys know that like sounds really cool. I've been here for 5 years. I've worked really, really hard, but as much as we like to glamorize the good times, how many of you guys had some struggles? Okay, and so tonight, when I like share my story and answer questions, I'm coming to y'all from the valley. Okay, can I get an amen? Like, who has had some struggles? So I've been in the business. May will be 6 years, which is so crazy to say. And to give you like the overview, we went 100% debt free at Double Diamond. I reached Ambassador Diamond before my 3 year anniversary. I just got inducted into the Millionaires Club right before my 5 year anniversary. And so you really can accomplish a lot with hard work. But when I joined, I was scared out of my mind. How long did it take for everyone to join? Just drop that in the chat. For me, it was 18 months. I stalked. I was a stalker. I did not comment. And like, it was crazy. Like I was literally stalking. Okay. And finally it got to the point where I couldn't handle it anymore. I needed the lifestyle that my enroller had. Now my enroller's no longer in the company. Okay, so you can do this business as well without a strong foundation. Be resourceful. Okay, she quit 2 days before I went presidential. I don't know why, but that's okay. And so when I joined, I cried the first 7 days. Where are my emotional people at? Okay, because I was like, oh my God, I joined one of those things. I never joined another company. I'll never join another company. If you ever see me not in this company, I left the industry, y'all. Okay, like I'm not starting over again. Okay, okay. But I cried for 7 days, and it was because I was shifting. How many of you guys know when you really like speak out what it is that you want, you get uncomfortable because you have to shift and you have to go to the next level. So I knew exactly what I wanted when I joined. I watched my enroller get on a cruise the year before. How many of you are driven by FOMO? Drop a me. I'm driven by FOMO. And so I watched her, I stalked her get on the cruise in 2015. And so in 2016, I was like, what do I got to do to get on the cruise? And she said, if you go Ruby, guarantee a spot. I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, all right, let me figure it out. Drove 3 hours during week 6. I was nowhere near getting Ruby. Drove 3 hours across state. Didn't even know if I can get into the event. It was called Green Carpet. Showed up, got into the event, sat in the back of the room. You got to get in the room. Get in the room. Who's getting to a road rally? You have to freaking get in the room, okay? All of them got up and got to walk on stage. They looked at me and said, would you watch our purses? Don't say that to the emotional girl. I was bawling my eyes out because I felt left out. I felt like a loser, and I was like, they are not better than me. I can freaking walk on that stage. In 12 days, I took myself from distributor to Ruby. Something turned on, but then I stopped. How many of you guys ever gotten exactly what you wanted? I talk about that a lot. You tie and you die. You get exactly what it is that you want and you take yourself out, because success is the number one thing that takes people out. And the difference between the goods and the greats, the difference between the goods and the high achieving women, where are my high achieving women at tonight, okay, is they know how to move the goalpost before they cross their finish line. They know how to dream bigger. And what's next? What's next? What's next? Well, I didn't do that, and I took myself out, and I almost quit month 7. I got Ruby in 60 days, almost quit month 7. My husband said, I don't want to see you like this. I don't want you to quit, but I can't see you like this. Something's not right. And what I didn't realize is God was doing something on the inside of me. God was calling me higher. And in January of 2017, I woke up and I said, new year, new me. I committed 1 year and I got 5 months left. So I'm gonna go balls to the wall. And I went on Facebook Live and I lied. I said that fastest growing team in the company. Y'all, I wasn't even making 250 bucks, okay? Said I had the fastest growing team in the company. Went to conference because we get in the room. We get in the room. Went to conference, was told Jesus would fall from the sky. He didn't. But 2 weeks after I left that event, something happened. I went from Ruby to Double Diamond in 5 months. Then I started working on my leadership because I had people walking away faster than they were coming in. I was the problem. Anyone ever been the problem in their business? Drop a me. That was me. I learned the color personality. And because I took time and shifted my leadership from March of 2018 to April of 2019, I went from Double Diamond to Ambassador because I worked on my leadership. And how many of you guys are around or at the rank of Double Diamond? I want you to know the rank of Double Diamond will absolutely change your life. Absolutely. That can bring you home. It can put money in your bank account. You can pay off all of your debt. We paid off $63,801.99 in debt at Double Diamond because I was making 5 figures a month as a Double Diamond. Why? Because I fixed my leadership. Because when you pour into people and you help people get what they want, they will take you where you want to go. And it's been a wild ride. I can tell you that in 5 years, last year, my business kind of fell apart. It was the first time I walked through it. I had leaders leave. I had people I had to block and remove. Never had to do that. That was hard. That was scary. Had some things shift and had some people rise up that never had an opportunity before. And I've had to grow and I've had to take ownership. I lacked vision last year, but I'm so excited, Erin. The 4-1 absolutely turned me back on. I am so leaned in. I am so hungry. And I'm really ready for everything this year has. And if you guys like, my story's kind of been like a climb in, like Ashleigh Mayfield just does all this stuff. But I just went from being number 14 income earner worldwide to number 42. And how many of you guys have ever had a setback? Ugh, like your booty holes in your throat. You're like it's hard. Where are my people that have had a setback? And so if you're on here tonight, my heart and my goal is that tonight you can leave and you can have a comeback. You can say, no, I'm not going to stop here. Because listen, if I go out, heifer, I'm not going out on the bottom. I'm going out when I'm high on the hog, baby. That's how Mayfield goes out, okay? But it comes with making a decision. And I made a decision in September that I was going to shift my mindset. I made a decision leaving conference 2 weeks that my story's not done here. And I'm going all in this year. And I'm really excited, Erin. I'm really, really excited.
I love it. Well, I love that even, the first part of your story is talking about the very first cruise and like how ironic and amazing that we have an event that is coming back up that is a trip to be earned. Like, and here's the thing, I did not like, I don't like cruises. I don't like being trapped on things. I like control. And so I didn't really want to go, but I had the biggest fear of missing out that I was like, I have to earn it. I have to earn it. Cause I didn't want to hear all the stories. Like, I don't want to hear about the things that happen. And I'm like, gosh, I would have known that. So let's talk about this for a little bit. And then I've got some specific questions, but I think that this is perfect just because it's an opportunity on the table. And some people might be like, okay, like I'm already a little bit through February. And, we know that we have to cross those 7 checks off. So what would be your biggest piece of advice if people are like, maybe just haven't pushed for it, or they haven't grasped the mindset of like, I could really earn this? Because this is what I love about it is, some of the other trips and incentives, they've been all for top leaders or certain different things, but this is an even playing field. Anybody can join it. So what would be your biggest piece of advice? Because we've got brand new people on here. We've got people that have been in for, I've been on for 7.5 years. So anywhere in that gamut.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the biggest thing, you guys, is like for change is desire and decision. And no one can do that but you. Like, sure, you can be in an environment that activates that. And yes, we would all love to be in an environment that's conducive for growth. But the reality is we're not. Maybe your home life sucks. Maybe your job sucks. Maybe you feel like you're not getting for what you want from your leader. I'll be the first. I'm not a perfect leader. Erin's not a perfect leader. And we're not here to do the work for you. But you get to. You don't have to. You get to have a desire and a decision that you're going to go for it. And so the way that you can create that is, have you Googled the freaking resort, the Dream Onyx? I don't even know. I'm like, what is Mark renting out the whole gosh darn island? Like, what is about to happen here? We're about to infiltrate. Like, this is going to be crazy, okay? But like, you have to activate that thing on the inside of you. And that's just something that, no one can do for you. If you really want to go for it, you got to do more than the minimum. You got to do more than the minimum. Don't just think of it as a 4-1 a month. Sure, you can do a 4-1 a month and you'll still get there. But why not secure your spot? Why not secure your spouse's spot or a friend in your downline spot? Maybe you're not married. Maybe you don't have a partner, but maybe you can earn a spot for someone in your downline. Like, that would be a really cool gift, right? Someone you want to see the vision, someone you want to be around the fire. Maybe you can earn 11 circles and you get $800 free in airfare. Like, hello, we didn't get that when we went to Costa Rica. What no reimbursement, boo boo. Okay, and listen, even if you can't go on the trip, if you qualify for it, they're paying you $500. If you can't go due to medical reason, due to, I don't know, maybe, I don't know why, maybe you're sick, you're pregnant, whatever. They're like, why would you not want to get it? But I would challenge you, for 7 days, freaking go Google all the things you can do, all the excursions, the experience of it. Like, create that desire of being there. Go buy the swimsuits. Go buy the swimsuits. Make it a challenge. Make it a game. But you absolutely can. And I'm telling you, if you just read the rules of how simple it is, I mean, we're talking so simple, you guys, that even if you miss a 400 loop, or a 4-1 loop, you can buy it for $400. Like, are you kidding me right now? They literally want everyone. So if you don't go, it's because you made a decision not to. That's it. And I'd rather qualify for something and make a choice not to go than to not qualify for it when it's so simple. So I say this respectfully. It really is low-hanging fruit, though. The only way that you can't earn it is by you not doing the work. And that is an option.
So what do you love most about like 4-1? Because obviously, we started this business back, 6-7 years ago, and everything was steps to success. And y'all, like, that was like the holy grail. And you had to get 4 customers, 3 distributors. And so the simple fact of this 4-1, it really is that simple. But what big tips are you sharing with your team to just get them focused on that? Because I think we went into the season of host to post and mass enrollment and all the things, but you were the only person working. So what are you doing to kind of refocus your team, or like, what piece of advice would you have for people that maybe just haven't fully grasped it, or they haven't started to see really the full potential of it?
Yeah. So how many of you guys were around prior to September? Can you just drop a 2 in the chat, like where it was 6 customers and 3 DTs? Okay. So I'm going to ask I'll let some 2s drop. Okay. Now I'm going to ask a very, very, very honest question. And if you know me, and I can dare to say the same for Erin, because she's pretty like a hardcore cookie as well. We value honesty. Okay. Cause you can't do anything without being self-aware. You can't change anything unless you're honest with yourself. You have that ownership and you have self-awareness. How many of you enrolled more people with 6 customers and 3 DTs than you have the 4-1? Drop a me. Thank you, Ashleigh, for breaking that 4-minute mile. You just shattered that. So you just put the gateway. Look at all these me's dropping in. You enrolled and recruited more. You guys, I've been really loud with my tribe about this in the last few months. The company served us so well. They lowered the bar for us to make more money, but we're ding dongs. We lowered our work ethic. It's almost like it's so simple. We're not even trying as hard. And so how many of you want to make more than 5? Well, let me ask this. I'm asking a couple questions. How many of you are not making $500? Drop a 3 right now. You're not making $500 a month. It's okay to be honest. Thank you, whoever said that first. Okay, lots of 3s. Cool. Thank you for your honesty. I value that. You're not even making $500 a month. Okay, cool. How many of you want to make $500, drop a 4. Okay, cool. That would change your life, right? Pay a bill. You could sleep at night better. How many of you want to make more than $500? Drop a 5. You want to make more than $500. Okay. So to me, if you are not like, you can't get frustrated. I hear a lot of people that like get frustrated at their team because like their team's not working, but like they're not even doing the 4-1. You know what I mean? So you guys, it's really, really simple. For me, I'm very much like, have the end goal in mind and work your way backwards. My goal, I earned a $4,000 bonus last month because I was like, my thing, I'm driven by FOMO and I'm also very much a high achiever. And I was like, I cannot be second in my team. Okay, I must be number 1 because the leader leads. And so I was like, I got to do it first. And so I did it first, had a few girls come in behind me, which was awesome. But I'm like going for it again this month because y'all, it's 12 customers and 3 DTs. Are we freaking out? Like, are we serious right now? If we break that down, that's like, what, 3 customers and 1 DT a week. Now, so I just take the goal and I'm breaking it down backwards, reverse engineering it, right? Start with the end in mind, reverse engineer. And now how many people do I need to talk to and how effective? It's about effectiveness. It's not just a number game. I freaking hate when people say that. Just talk to more people. No, your script sucks or your mindset sucks or your energy sucks when you're sending the message because you might send 100 messages and get no one. And I could send 10 and sign 2 people because I'm more effective than you. Okay. And so effectiveness matters in addition to, because once you know your effectiveness, then you just increase and your results will increase. So it is a formula. There is a formula there. We can't just say talk to more people because you could be a knucklehead and you just showing more people you a knucklehead. Does that make sense? Drop a yes. That makes sense. Okay. But you guys, I think for me, it's about making sure, number 1, I have to lead from the front. I am my first runner. It rises and falls on me. This is like basic entry level leadership. It is the law of the lid. If you do not like what your team is doing, then you must do more because at best, your team will do 50% of what you do at best. And so if I want a team of high achieving women that want to go, that want to say yes, that want to build belief and confidence and become the person their results require, it requires me to embody that, right? If I want to, how many of you guys want to recruit people who are rock stars? It's the law of magnetism. You must be a rock star. Like you have to do it. So for me, it's imperative that I do it. And then I'm honestly, like I've gotten so comfortable in my leadership. It's not even about my way. 2 years ago, it was my way. Can I be honest? I was like, do this because it works. It got me to the top. Like, why would you not want to try, right? Now I'm like, I don't freaking care what you do. I'm not telling you how to ride the horse. Ride it bareback, ride it side saddle, get a saddle, don't get a saddle, sand on the top, ride on the side. I just want your horse to cross the finish line. I don't care if the horse is riding you. I don't give a hot fart, but the horse has to cross the finish line. That is the goal. And if we can't even do a 4-1, like it's a couple different things. It's not, I'm not going to say you're being lazy. I don't think that's it, but you might be, I don't know. You got to be honest with yourself. Some of you might not be doing the work, but a couple different things I want you to ask yourself. If you're not completing a 4-1, if you're not getting $500, have you made a decision to do it? Because you see, you make a decision before you figure out the how. The how does not determine, right? Like, oh, how am I going to do it? No, you either decide you're going to do it or you don't. You want it or you don't. It's very black and white. You make a decision and then you have to have consistency. You have to create good habits. It just makes sense, okay? And so what are your habits? You have to inspect what you expect and stop trying to perfect a habit you don't have. Some of you are so worried, well, my voice sounds so stupid on Facebook Live. You're not even going live anyways. What are you talking about? You're not even live. Well, nobody likes my stories. You don't even post stories. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You don't want to look stupid in your selfie. You don't even post selfies. Like, we can't perfect a habit that we don't have. And so, it starts with a decision and then having habits. And then I would say, be freaking coachable. Do you guys realize that you are under an ambassador diamond? And I know like y'all's whole little tribe, under Alyssa, all y'all like sexy little snacks, y'all all like inbred, okay? Like y'all have sidelines on sidelines. Like y'all need to be living up in Utah over there, okay? Like I love that community that you guys have of sideline sisterhood. I mean, Aaron Tweed is on here and it freaking says Kelsey Thornton, okay? Like, come on, they're so inbred there, okay? Be coachable. You guys are sitting among some of the elite in our company. Be coachable. Are you actually doing the things? How many of you have a freaking TV on right now in the background? How many of you, you're trying to multitask, talking to your kid? Someone just turned their camera off. I cannot. I don't even think I'm answering the question anymore, Aaron. I'm sorry. But you know, at the end of the day, do your 4-1. It's a really simple. If you're not done, you need to ask for help. Stop being stubborn. Stop thinking you can do it, because I'm here to tell you you're not doing it. So stop thinking you can, because you're not. And just message Aaron.
Don't message me about your TV, okay, situation. No, I'm just
Not
kidding.
about TV.
You know, I mean, but, and you can probably relate to this too. Like, even for me, like the last couple of years, it felt like there was almost so many ways to do the business that I almost felt like stuck. And then I was not being myself in it. So like now, like I'm just having fun. And I think that part is what comes back to giving you success, is having fun. And like this business is meant to be so much fun. The friendships, you know, the freedom, those are like our core values that you are always going to hear over and over. And so I go around, like, even when I go out and I know that I'm friends with like some of my son's moms at school, and they're like, hey, I love your videos. Like, I'm like, okay, great. I don't watch them after I post them because I don't want to see it, but I posted it. I had fun doing it. And it's just, it's being more of yourself and being authentically you. And so you know, let's talk a little bit one more time on just like making that decision as far as, you know, going back from you going Ruby to Double, because there's probably a lot of people that are just in that phase of business right now, of just making that decision of, you know, literally 500. And I remember getting my first double check. It was, you know, a very high double. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I was making more than my nursing salary, different things. And it was finally the key to success. And so I was like, okay, like this could really be something. So do you remember like a pivotal thing, or, you know, I know you talked a lot about your leadership. Was there like a leadership book that you focused on, just something that really helped you shift the gear and that mindset? Because a lot of times we can give people the tools to work the business. We can give them the things, but if they're not believing that, I mean, you know that like it's just not going to happen. So what would you say about that?
Yeah, so I didn't actually start working on my leadership until after I went Double. But from Ruby to Double, what I can tell you is number one, I made a decision. I woke up in January of 2017. It was month 8. And I committed 12 months when I first joined the business. And I know there's like, don't tell people to make a commitment. No, I did. My enroller said, will you give me 12 months to change your life? And I believed her, because they said in 12 months, you're okay. They said in 12 months we can help you go diamond. In a year we can, and now we can do that so much faster. But my enroller said that, and I believed her. But it was almost like I was looking externally the first 6 months. Like I got what I wanted, I tied and dyed, and then it was like I was looking externally for something, like the company to give a promotion, or my team to get it and turn on, to sign that rock star. Because we always say that you know, sign a rock star, like your whole business will change. And in January when I woke up, it was month 8. I made a decision that I was going to finish 12 months, like come hell or high water, because I could not go on Facebook and say it didn't work when I didn't fulfill my commitment. And listen, some of you lack belief, and it's not an external thing. It's that you never keep your word to yourself, right? And so you have created a habit of distrust, like your subconscious and your conscious mind. And I'm not trying to be woo-woo, because I'm very much Jesus Christ, amen. But some of y'all, like you have no connection there, and you wonder why. And I'm sorry, I got the microphone, so if you don't like it, you gotta get your own microphone, okay? But Aaron, tag me, I'm in it. Some of you are complaining that your spouse doesn't support you. Baby, you haven't given him a reason to support you, because you be jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing more than I change underwear. Okay? And I be changing underwear every day, because if you don't, you nasty. Erin knows about that. She's a nurse. She was a nurse, okay? People nasty, okay? But like you have to make the decision. So I made the decision, and then I took ownership. It is like no one's throwing a rope to save me. I'm standing at the edge of this cliff, and I have to figure it out. And I started doing personal development. Let me ask you this. How many of you, what is the largest, let me ask this, be dead honest. What is the check that would make you like lose your mind? What's the amount? Drop that in the chat. I'm talking like you'd slap your mama in the face. You'd run around the neighborhood naked. Like, get crazy here, okay? What, $10,000. Thank you, Chrissy. Amanda says 10,000, 5,000. It doesn't matter if it's 500, 5,000, 50,000. I don't care. Just drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat right now. I'm talking about, y'all are some nasty heifers. $10,000, Gladys, and you be running around naked. You nasty. I'm just kidding. Okay, I love it. 45,000, 30,000, 50,000. I love it, okay? 10,000, 1,000. Okay, now, keep dropping it, keep dropping it, keep dropping it. Ah, yay, all this money, yay, it's awesome. Okay, cool. Now stop. Now, I want you to hear the question I ask before you answer in the chat. How, Ashley said, nothing. Ashley, how many zeros you got, babe? We can work on that. It's okay. I'm just messing with you. How many books, BOOKS, have you finished in 90 days? Drop that in the chat. Oh, thank you, Kelly, for being honest. The first one to say 0. All right, now y'all better buckle up and brace for impact because I am not joking with this bull crap. So many 0. Thank you for being honest. Keep being honest because this is what makes us grow. It's uncomfortable, but this is what makes us grow. The audacity and the arrogance that you guys have. I'm coming in hot, so brace for impact. This is out of love. I'm calling you higher. Drop a yes if I can call you higher. And if it's no, you got to hop off. Okay? Because I'm here to call you higher tonight. The audacity and the arrogance that you think y'all heifers can't even go into corporate America and earn $10,000 a month. But you think you can come into this business being the same person you are out there and that you're entitled to more money? Woo! Take a seat. Take a seat. No, ma'am, Pam, take a seat. That is not how it works. If you could make the business work being who you are, you'd already done it. If you could make the business work with the network you have, you'd already done it. If you could make the business work being around the friend circle you have, you'd already done it. You'd already done it. You trying to make $10,000, but you ain't even read a book? For real? Girl, no ma'am. And don't be, I read my Bible every day. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's fine. But you know what? Sometimes we need a leadership lesson too. We need a business lesson, okay? So you guys, I had to grow myself. Now, maybe you start with podcasts, YouTube videos, books. It doesn't really matter, but at some point, podcast is not effective if you're multitasking, okay? And listen, there's nothing cool about saying you've listened to 60 books in a year. I had someone that was like, oh, I listened to 60 books in a year. Cool. Is it personally developing you though? Because heifer, there'd be fruit on the tree. And if there ain't no fruit on the tree, I don't care, like, what are your roots in? You know what I'm saying? So the decision that I made to go from Ruby to double in 5 months was I had to make a decision that I was done playing. This ain't no mother trucking hokey pokey. It's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I had to be all in, okay? Because the disposition comes before the position. You got to show up in your mind first. I had to claim it in my mind. I had to see it before I could see it. Who's picking up what I'm putting down? You have to see it before you can see it. You have to touch it before you can touch it. Okay? Y'all, I'm getting hot in here. It's okay. Okay? I had to make a decision. I had to do personal development, and then I got my butt to conference. If y'all listen, I'm serious. I'm considering driving 13 hours just to get to Nashville. Okay? I ain't got no gosh darn reason to get to Nashville, but I'm like, I can't be left out of the room because my enroller said, if you show up, it'll happen. And I came with an expectation. And I'm telling you, I literally thought Jesus was going to manifest. In fact, on that Saturday of conference, the conference 2017, that Saturday we went out to lunch. I started crying. There was 5 people there, 3 team members, me and my husband, me and Jason. And they were like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't feel nothing. I don't feel nothing. But 2 weeks later, I don't know. Some of y'all get it in the moment. Some of y'all, it's a byproduct. You got to give it a little bit of time. It had to marinate in me. And 2 weeks later, I don't know what happened. But y'all, it was fire on the inside of me. It was the right formula for me. Each and every one of you have a secret sauce. And if any of my Canadians are on tonight, you got a secret syrup. Amen. Okay? But there's something on the inside of you. You are your secret sauce. But have you made a decision to go in? Are you freaking doing the mindset work? Are you reading the books? Are you taking it in and not just playing it and doing your dishes? That's cool, but is it it's called personal development. It should be personally developing you. Like, oh, if after 30 days there ain't no fruit, what you doing, right? You should have a little bit of change, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of consistency, right? But then I had to get in the room. Proximity is power. Like, you got to get around Erin, not just to look at her nice arms, okay? But you got to like rub her, okay? I was in between Joel and Stephanie at this past conference. I was like, Lord Jesus, I'm just rubbing their arms. I'm like, Lord, give me a double portion, amen. Okay, like, listen, okay, you got to rub these people, but don't be rubbing me because I don't like physical touch, okay? But that's what I did, Erin, to answer your question.
I'm not a physical touch person either, so that's what
I'm gonna talk about Erin's arms
please don't
until
come
the
and
day
rub
I
me.
die. Because
Yeah.
if you follow Erin Tweed, you know she's got the buffest arms. I'm like, how can I get your arms while still eating cookies? I don't know, but that's what I want.
Well, it's, toting kids around all day, every day. Okay, so a few more questions for you, and then I will let you go. But that was, I think it is so powerful because, you think, I always like to compare it to, like, if I was still working as a nurse, I would have to go do my continuing education hours. I would have to go and do certain certifications to make sure that I'm staying the best of the best. And so I don't know why we don't treat this the exact same way. And so this, if you really want to make that full-time income with the 10,000 or whatever it is, you have to have that mindset wrapped in it. So I love it. Okay. So now let's go to the flip side. Maybe somebody is saying, okay, I'm doing all the things. I'm putting up the hosted posts. I'm reaching out. I'm sending the messages. I'm like, they're saying that they're doing all the things, but they're not seeing the results. And they're getting frustrated with their business. Like, what is the big piece of advice? And I know you talked a little bit about just the, maybe it's the scripts and the content, but, how do you deal with that? Or maybe it's not that person, but maybe they're dealing with somebody on their team that's constantly coming to them and saying, hey, like, I'm doing things, it's not working. Like, how do we flip that?
Yeah, I honestly think it is your thoughts, your words, and your actions all have to be in alignment. How many of you have ever ran on autopilot in this business or in your freaking car? We do it all the time. We're like, oh my God, was I awake? Did I run over a cat? And I do it too. Okay. But a lot of times, it can get really easy to check a box. And one thing that I value is I can't stand using scripts. I use scripts because I know, like, the scripts that I feel like, I have, like, they're effective. And they say what they want to say, but I'm telling you, I'm constantly reevaluating. Like, I live my business. I'm constantly under the microscope. I'm constantly analyzing the things that I do because I know my ratio. If I talk to 10 potentials and I don't have someone moving like lower in my funnel, something's not right. And I have to check my thoughts, my words, and my actions. And you need all three of them to be in alignment, okay? And again, not getting voodoo, because this is based in Jesus, okay? But like, you can be saying, I'm gonna go diamond, I'm gonna go diamond, I'm gonna go diamond, I'm gonna go diamond, and you could be doing all the action, but if in your head you're like, I freaking suck, my network sucks, this isn't working, why am I doing this? You're doing the right things, but the mindset is mad off. Okay. This is why personal development matters, because this thing, the 6 inches in between your ears, or if you got a tiny head, the 4 inches, I don't know. Erin, you probably know head sizes better than I do. Nurse. But you guys, this like controls you. This thing is trying to make you play so small. It's trying to keep you safe by design, right? And so, but it's not just your thoughts. Some of you are like, you're doing the things, you're thinking positive thoughts. I can do this. I can do this. I'm a DT signing machine. Da, da, da. I can get my 401. And you're doing the work, but your mouth is like, it's so hard, but I'm trying, but my network, nobody wants this. And you're saying the things, and you want to know what's crazy about your words is you have 2 ears that are freaking hearing the things that you're saying. And it's like going in, right? Or you're thinking all the things and you're saying all the things, but you're not really doing the work like you should. And so anytime that I have someone that's like maybe complaining or they're not seeing the results, I think there's a lot of things we have to like, it's like an onion. It's not one thing. It's like, okay, let's evaluate what they're putting out and what they're putting in. Let's evaluate, what are you putting in your head? What are you listening to? Are you doing personal development? Is your mindset right? Okay, that's off. Let's shift that. Let's start looking at your social media, because how you present yourself, you're complaining you're not signing DTs. Well, no one even knows you have a business. Shocker. Okay. Simple fix here. Let's think about what you're putting in a message. Sure, you're sending a script, but are you just like sending the same script to 50 people in 5 minutes? That is a really cool time saver. But if you just slow down a little bit, send it to 10 people, analyze the effectiveness. That's the key word tonight, effectiveness, because you can be doing all the things and now you're just blowing through potentials and you're not effective. You know, maybe, and you guys would be shocked. Like, you can study any sales things. Your diction, the words that you use, one tweak of something, and it can be a game changer. Do you want to know the closing line that I heard? I'm gonna give y'all gold tonight. Y'all can just take this, okay? How many of you guys say, does that sound good? Do you guys say, does that sound good? You know, like you send your script, you're like, does that sound good? Or, you know, what do you think about it? Or do you think that sounds good? Like, you guys say stuff like that, right? Okay. Well, I've been doing this for like 3 years. This one sentence shifted everything for me. I just say this. Do you feel good about it? Here's the thing. Bop, 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 bop. Do you feel good about it? They're like, yeah, I do. Let's roll. Y'all, that, like, but does this sound good or do you feel good about it? Look at how simple that is. So when you think about small, words don't matter, bull crap, they don't. That has unlocked so many more sales because I'm like, do you feel good about it? Because I care about how they feel. Do you see how it goes to like a higher level? And, oh, she cares about how I feel. I feel great about it, right? Like, it's a sales tactic. And so what you say, like what you say over your business, what you think over your business, and the actions you do, those matter. But also, it matters to the people who are saying yes. If you sound like a buffoon or you sound like a robot, you have a higher probability of people not getting it. So if someone's usually complaining or coming to me, there's a process of like breaking it down that you just kind of have to do. And those are kind of the things that I look at. I'm looking at what are they doing? What are they putting out? What are they saying to people? And you can tell a whole lot by someone's social media. Like, babe, and if I can't see your social media because it's private, that's problem number one. Like, problem number one. But you can tell a lot by someone, or tell a lot about someone just by their posting on social media alone. Their passion, are they on autopilot? Are they even being effective? Is anyone even caring at what they're saying? Like, that says a lot. So
Yes, well, and I think it's just a great reminder because we have the ease of access right with boards, but sometimes you can get very lazy with your responses and just being like, oh, I can send this, but it's like somebody asked about like one other part of the thing and then you're missing the whole question. So I love that. And even there's a book called Stories That Sell. I forget who
Donald Miller. Is that Donald?
Yes. So when I listened to that, you know, he said, and this is something even with your before and afters, you know, you can post like, I need product testers and stuff like that. But if you can give the testimony of somebody that truly experienced it and how they're feeling and, you know, like what it did for them, if it's a mom that now feels better because she can fit in her goal jeans and what does that feel like being able to do those things, that's what people are going to relate to. It's just those stories. And so being effective in your conversation and those posts, I absolutely love it. Okay, so last question, and then if you guys have any, you can drop them in the chat. We're going to try and stay on time, that way we're respectful of that. But what is kind of like your process as far as, we're switching totally new gears, brand new distributors? Like, how are you bringing them in? What does that first week look like, or anything that you just feel like, hey, I used to do this, but I've really found this to be effective?
So I can tell you, up until about a year and a half ago, I was doing a new DT training every Tuesday night. It was like clockwork. It was the same thing over and over and over. And we got away from it, kind of gave a little bit of freedom to people to, well, we had like a 3-step training process. Like, what was it? Oh, training Zoom group chat, training Zoom group chat. Like, we had a training video that's very generic, something I created for our whole team to use. You know, people can add them to the team page, tag them in that video, kind of just gives them like, hey, this is what you signed up for. Your kit is coming in the mail. Here's our new 4-1. Here's how to make $500. It's like a 20-minute video that people do. So they do training, then they hop on a Zoom with people. Obviously now I'm not so much like Zoom, but are you really just connecting with your new distributor? I think a lot of times, you know, we just want to like send them a dissertation, you know, and I've gotten that, and no offense if anybody does that right now, I find that to not be effective. We're in a society where you have the most access to people. We have more time than we've ever had before. We have more resources than we've ever had before. We have more money than we've ever had before. We have more community right now than we've ever had before, and people are lonely. If you are lonely, drop a me below. if you feel lonely at any time. And I'm not saying that your leader's not doing a good job. I'm not saying your team's not doing a good job. I probably have leaders on here that might say that too. Okay. It's not, but look at how many of you feel lonely at some level, right? And so being able, I think the greatest thing that you can give someone is time. And I can tell you right now, the number one thing I hate in this business is that I can't charge people time. It's the number one thing I hate in this business, because there's nothing more that sucks than investing your time into someone and at any moment they can walk away. That's hard. It hurts the soul. It hurts the heart. It hurts. You're like, God, I invested so much time in them. Like, it sucks. But I think it's the greatest asset that we have to show people that we matter, or they matter, because we can never get time back. And I think even if it's just like 15 minutes, like, get over yourself. You have 15 minutes to jump on a phone call with your brand new DT, share your story with them, hear their story, tell them you believe in them. Hey, we love you. We're so excited. You value, like, you already matter and we don't even know you. Like, you make our team better, like, saying those things. I think that matters. And if you can get on a Zoom, get on a Zoom. Maybe not everybody wants to Zoom. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe you're busy. That's fine. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to ride the horse, but I think connecting with the new distributor ASAP is so vital. There's a reason why, like, it's so funny. I saw a video about it today, sent it to one of my homies. There's a reason why TikTok is pushing 7-second videos, 10-second videos. There's a reason, you guys, because if they can train us to stay, I mean, how many of us right now, it takes this. If you don't get my attention in 3 seconds, I'm gone. Like, we're being reprogrammed, right? Back in the day, we didn't have all these stimulants. Our parents, my God, I mean, I'm 37 years old, but I'm no spring chicken. It's called Botox, y'all. But like, listen, like, my parents, my grandparents, they stayed at a job for 30 years and retired. They lived in the same house. They came home, they ate dinner, they'd watch a little television. You had to get up and turn the knob. Y'all don't know about that, okay? So my grandma had. And they had a phone that connected to the wall. You had to, like, pay for long distance. You had one of these phones, okay? Like, I grew up like that with my grandparents, but it's not like that nowadays. Nowadays, we're all over the map. We're doing all the things. My kids have it worse than I did in school 20 years ago. Okay, like, it's crazy. And so if you can give someone your time, that junk matters, right? And so, tagging them in the training video, being able to have that connection and having it quick because it matters and because you want them to be leaned in, and then getting them a win. I think getting them a win, getting them a customer, getting them a sample sold, getting them even some potentials, doing whatever it takes to say, hey, you've got 30 days, but we're doing this in 7 to 10. You guys, do you realize you get to set the urgency for it? Like, do you know if it takes you, do you realize that I haven't, okay, calling myself out. What's it been, a week and a half that we've been back from conference? I packed 2 suitcases. One of them I haven't even unpacked yet. It's got all my shoes still in it, still literally sitting on the floor next to my bed. Why? Because if you give yourself 30 days to do it, you'll do it on day 30. You'll do it on day 29, right? And so you get to create the standard that you set for your new distributors. If you want them to do it in 7 days, they're not going to know any different. Hey, you got to do this in 7 days. Let's go. You get to create that urgency. And I think leading with honesty, urgency, and accountability, I just think that that's so needed. Call people higher. And here's what I will say lastly. I have no doubt I'm probably not an easy leader. Okay. Like, I'm a hot mess. My energy is all over the place. You never know. Like, if you talk to me on a day when I don't have a lot of sleep, like, you're probably going to get 1-word answers and you think I hate you. And it's not, it's just, if you love me, let me sleep. Like, I don't want food. I don't want shopping. I don't want drug, sex, rock and roll. I just want sleep. Okay. It's the weight of my heart. And so I have no doubt that I'm not the easiest leader. Like, I don't know. I'm probably not approachable. I want everyone to leave me alone, but I want everyone to need me. Like anybody else out there, I'm like, everybody must need me, but nobody needs me. And so, it's all over. But here's the thing that I would say. I would rather have someone say about me, Ashleigh Mayfield pushed me too hard. She cared too much. She rode me too hard. She expected a lot out of me, than them say, well, I joined Ashleigh and I never heard from her again. And people are going to say what they want to say, regardless of the truth. But if I had to choose a scenario, if I had to choose an extreme, I'd rather people be like, she believed in me too much. She wanted too much from me. She called me higher. She made me uncomfortable. I'd rather people say that about me than like, I fell through the crack. Now, let me humble myself and let you know that people have fallen through the crack that I've enrolled. Okay. Like it has happened, unfortunately. But I guess that's what I would say, like to a new distributor, you gotta find a system that is really simple, that makes it easy, that makes it fun. Your energy can make it fun for people, right? And just help them meet that first goal. My goal is not to help people retire, come home. Y'all know I'm like the debt payoff queen. Like that's my passion, okay? But if they say they want $100, mother trucker, we're getting $100 ASAP. And then we're gonna double that. And then it's what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay. Not everybody comes in. And so don't think you don't have a runner just because they're not out here yet. If my enroller said I had to be out here when I first joined, I wouldn't be here today. She just said, "What do you want?" And I said, 200 to 300. That's all I had a brain cell for. $200 to $300. That's it. I saw her live in $1 million house on the lake in California. And I said I can only do $200 to $300. I stalked her for 18 months, watched her buy a brand new car cash, Chevy Tahoe cash, and I said I can only make $200 to $300, right? And so, it's classic sales. If you go to Burger King, which we all know Burger King is the best fast food restaurant ever, that's why I'm never gonna have arms like Aaron because I love Whoppers. But when you add, like, let me put it like this: if you're ever think about sales like this. If I go to Burger King and I say, "Hey, I want a number 7, I want a Whopper Junior," they're gonna say, "Are you sure you don't want a chicken sandwich?" No, they're not gonna say that. They're gonna say, "Okay, we're gonna give that. Do you want a large?" They're gonna give me exactly what it is that I want, and then they're gonna try to upsell me. So meet people where they're at, help them get exactly what it is that they want, and then cast a little bit more vision for them. So that was kind of like a answer, but hopefully there was a nugget in there for someone.
No, that was perfect. And I mean, I think that's what we've all kind of figured out over the years is that everybody learns different and they need different things. And so it's not just the cookie cutter, because I remember just getting to a page and it's like you got tagged in 50 million posts, but at the time that's what we knew to do. And so, it just is one of those things. Okay. So last thing, is there anything else that you just have on your heart that you want to share with this group? And then we'll go ahead and let everybody go. But I know I'm super excited, even coming back from conference, just the small intimacy of just that event. And it was so amazing, but it just, it lit a fire in a different way because I feel like we've had all things, like you said, we've got the right team, we've got the money, we've got the support, we've got all that, but it actually feels like it's all the pieces of the puzzle are actually connected this year. And so anything that you want to just share with this group before we hop off?
Yeah, you want to know what? I would tell you guys that you need to give yourself permission. I think a lot of times we're looking externally, we're looking for someone to believe in us, we're looking for someone to speak over us. That is amazing. I am so grateful. Can we give like shout out to all the husbands that are amazing? Like I married my soulmate. Like my husband makes me a better human and he believes in me when I'm down and he calls me higher and he bought cute M&Ms that have our names on them and it says boop, what we call each other. And like I absolutely just adore my husband, but you might not have that. And I don't always have that because guess what? As much as my husband believes in me, he also gonna call me a knucklehead when I need it. He gonna call me higher, okay? And so, but I think that I just think at the end of the day, we can wait until our environment is conducive or we can just give ourselves permission. And I just want you to know that you can. And if you're on here tonight and you don't think you can, you can. And I hope it's okay to say this, Aaron. I'm doing, and I dropped it in the ambassador chat already, but I'm doing a company-wide Zoom tomorrow with all these different stories because I think it's so important that you find someone that's got your story. And you're gonna hear from a single mom. You're gonna hear from someone who's working full time. You're gonna hear from all different ranks and all those people who have earned the $4,000 bonus. And I thought about calling it No Excuses. I was like, let me call this the No Excuse Zoom because y'all mother truckers ain't got no excuse. And I thought, okay, Mayfield, like calm down, little Grinch heart needs to grow a little bit. Like that's not really inspiring. So let's call it the You Can Zoom because I think in this season, you need to know that you really can. It's not that you won't, or it's not that you can't, it's that you choose not to. There's a difference, right? But I think when you give yourself permission and I'm going to say this. I believe, and I might be different than all the other mindset and leadership gurus out there. I believe, how many of you know why your life needs to change, but you're still not changing it? Just drop a 1 in the chat right now. Like, you know exactly why you need to get out of debt. You know exactly why you need to stop living paycheck to pay. You know exactly why your car is broke, busted, and disgusted, but you still driving that hoopty, okay? So many of us know our whys. So this whole idea that your why will find a why that makes you cry and it'll change your life, I kind of think it's bullcrap. I think a lot of us are afraid to say what it is that we want. I think a what can be more powerful than a why. And I think some of you tonight need to give yourself permission and start saying that what. What is it that you want? What do you want? Do you want $500? Then mother trucker, go get $500. It is yours for the taking because you can. So right now, before we hop off, what do you want? Draw in, no bull crap. I want $500. No. Do you want to buy a car cash? Do you want to go debt free? Do you want to retire from that freaking job that you hate? Well, guess what, baby? There's nothing greater on the inside of me that's not on the inside of you. I just learned how to say what it was that I wanted. In a world that told me I couldn't, I said bet. I said bet. Baby, I know what I want. I might not, I know what I want, mother trucker. I put my sign back up. I took this sign down last year because I started having disbelief. I put that sign back up because if you haven't gotten in the room and you haven't met our new corporate people, ooh, I said, come on, Meredith. Meredith said, Mayfield, put your sign back up. I say, yes, ma'am. I'm putting that back. I don't know when I'm getting that. That's not up to me. When and how, that's up to Jesus. But I know what I want. And I know what I'm worthy of. And I know what I'm fighting for. And I know what I'm responsible for. Because this number isn't about me. It symbolizes all the people that I get to impact, right? But I know what I want. Do you? And too many of us, we suppress what it is that we want because we're embarrassed. We're afraid of judgment. Oh, you're too greedy. You're too much. Mother trucker, keep telling me I'm too much. You turn your volume down. Why does it have to be Mayfield's too much? Why can't it be you're not enough? Why does loyalty mean I have to stay on your level? Why is it Mayfield left me behind? Why isn't it you couldn't keep up? I'm just saying, sometimes if you want a different answer, ask a different question. And I see a life coach, okay? I've invested in counseling because if you can't tell, crazy, okay? For like almost 3 years, I've been working with the same lady. And she tells me, if you want a different answer, Ashleigh, ask it. She don't call me Ashleigh. That would kind of be rude. If you want a different question or different answer, ask a different question. Why is it got to be, oh, I got to tone down. No, I'm going to start saying what I want. And I'm going to start being freaking loud about it. Because you know what? I have other people that get inspired by me saying what I want. And it's time that you start saying what it is that you want and you stop hiding behind it. And you stop trying to suffocate it because, oh, well, my husband thinks this and my family thinks this. And man, screw that. I'm not saying your husband, okay? I mean, listen, that's a marriage issue. I ain't gonna touch that. I ain't gonna talk about it. But like your friends, your sister, your mom, your grandma, your neighbor, your boss, like, no, start saying what it is that you want because you know why your life needs to change. Well, then just say it. Say what, and then go after it. Some of you can't say what because you don't keep your word to yourself. That's a you issue. Start doing the things you say you're going to do and you'll start developing that trust. But I think put yourself in the game. You can, and just start saying what it is that you want.
Well, that was freaking fire. And I wish I had the gift, GIF, whatever you want to say, of Noah from the Notebook just saying, what do you want? Like, I wish that would be the perfect thing because that's how I'm envisioning it, like just screaming, and all the things. So thank you so much for taking time away from your family and your team tonight. You have just inspired us so much. I already know that phone is blowing up and all the ahas that are going to come. And so we just appreciate you. You are such a firecracker, but I have just loved it. And thank you so much again for jumping on with us. God, that ending was so good. It's going to take me like 2 weeks to process it. And then I'll come to you and be like, okay, I know what I want.
I love you guys. Thank you so much just for letting me be me. I value that. I'm always it's always out of love. It's always to call you higher because I believe in you. And listen, someone's got to push your back against the wall and I'll gladly carry that burden.
Oh my gosh. I just love you so much. Thank you so much for this. It was so awesome. I will get this up on my YouTube so you guys can share it with your teams. But I just appreciate each and every one of you for hopping on as well. And yes, I hope everybody has a great night and we'll see y'all next week. Bye y'all.